Welcome to How to Draw a Chinook Salmon by Nanika Albrecht and Molly Cooperman, put together by the Adams River Salmon Society and sponsored by Canadian Scholarship Trust Foundation. Hi, so my name is Molly Cooperman and I'm a director of the Adams River Salmon Society. This is Nanika Albrecht, well-known local. I would like to say we're going to go through the steps on how to draw a Chinook salmon. And before we start, I'd like to acknowledge that we are living and learning on the Secwepemc territories. We live in the central part or interior part of British Columbia. And behind me, you can see is a actual print of a live, well, a dead fish from the Adams River, and it's a Chinook salmon. And my Uncle Bodie made it, so I'd like to commemorate him for this video. Nanika, so how should we start? What do we need?
Okay, thanks, Molly. I'm very excited to be part of this and showing you how to draw a Chinook salmon today. So first of all, it's important we have some supplies. So you'll need a piece of paper and a pencil, an eraser, and a black pen or a felt pen would work as well. I will show you the salmon we're going to draw. So the Chinook salmon today, and this is going to be the final drawing.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And so we're going to do this step by step, drawing some shapes in different areas on the page and then working the details in after. And while we draw, Molly will be sharing information about the Chinook salmon. So yeah, anything you want to share before we get started, Molly, about the Chinook?
Well, everyone can get out their paper and pencil. And the reason we chose the Chinook salmon is that they're quite special in our province. They are the favorite food for the orca whale, and unfortunately our Chinook salmon are in decline, and therefore orcas are in decline. And so we thought that that was one reason. And another reason is in the interior, in the Stream to Sea program, our students in our area will be raising Chinook salmon in their tanks at school.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, and I'm sure we'll learn more about the salmon as we go. And for now, so get out your paper and your pencil. We'll be drawing some shapes on our paper to start the drawing. Okay, so on your paper, we're going to be drawing the salmon lengthwise, using up almost all of the page here, this whole area. And so on the far left of your page, we're going to draw a triangle shape here, where the head is going to be. So if you can start by drawing a triangle shape like that. I'll draw it a little more pronounced. And don't worry too much about it. These are just guidelines. We'll be erasing the pencil lines after once we go over it with the pen. So just on the other side of the triangle, you're going to draw a half circle shape. There.
Almost looks like a sideways snow cone.
Yes, exactly. A sideways snow cone is what you should have so far. Great. Perfect. And then these lines here are going to extend out in a curved line, moving to the back of your page, like this. And then you want to leave room for the tail. So just make two lines that curve to the back of the page. like that. I'm just gonna fix my lines up a little. Okay, it should look like that. And then we're going to make a triangle shape at the back, is where the back fin is going to be. I'll just show you how that's going to look. And in the meantime, maybe Molly can tell us a little bit about that back fin. What's the importance of that back fin?
So this tail fin, or another name is a caudal fin, that is really quite large in the Chinook salmon, and it helps the fish to give its power to make it move forward, as well as Chinook salmon can jump quite high. They can jump over 1 meter when they're going up those waterfalls.
Wow, great. So very important. We're going to draw a nice strong tail fin. Okay, continuing with our shapes, we're going to put a shape in at the top here. So about halfway in your salmon here is going to be this shape, and it's going to be an angled triangle to the back. So a shape like that. I'm just going to fix my lines up just a little bit. Start drawing like that. Okay, so we have that one. It's going to be the top fin. And what's the name of this fin, Molly? This top fin?
The top fin is called the dorsal fin, and
the dorsal fin
helps to make the fish go straight.
Okay, wonderful. So that will be the dorsal fin. And then we have a few more shapes in here. It's going to be a triangle shape. The bottom there, just the opposite side of the fish, directly below. And then there'll be another shape here, a little triangle shape at the back. And let me just check if I have oh, there's one more fin. So another.
Yeah, that small one on the top between the tail fin and the dorsal fin is called the adipose fin.
Adipose fin.
It's quite small, and hatchery fish, actually, they take that off. So if you find a fish without one.
Okay, there we go. So we have all our shapes, our basic shapes to make this fish. Wonderful. All right, so let's see. Oh, there's another one, the line that goes down the middle, and that is the lateral line down the middle of the fish. So you can add that as well. Okay, and Molly's drawing along with us here today, so also drawing the Chinook salmon with us.
Is there another 2 pair of fins? Are you gonna do those next?
Am I missing a fin?
The
oh, I'm missing a fin. Oh yes, I'm missing a fin. There's another one here, so I'm gonna make a shape for another shape that's going to look like that.
That's the pectoral fins, and imagine there's the one on the one side, and then on the other side of the fish they have the same, so there's on both sides, and that one behind it that you did before is the pelvic fin. Yeah, so those two. And
okay.
There's also the anal fin that you drew there. Yeah.
That's the anal fin.
Looks good. It's looking like a fish.
And that's, yeah, it's already looking like a fish. And this one is a single fin as well. So this one has a fin on either side as well. This one. Okay. All right. I think we have all our basic shapes. So we could move towards using our pen now. So that's all our pencil work. So if you have a pen, I just have a black ink pen with me today, and we'll put in some of the details. So let's see. All right, I think we'll start off with the fins. So let's start with the dorsal fin, that top fin. And so because this is a single fin, you want to start your fin at this line where the body of the fish meets the fin. And we're going to curve that line a little bit so it looks more like a fin as well. So you're going to curve those lines and then connect them together with a slight curve as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I've just drawn in pen that top part, and later we'll erase the pencil lines later. Okay. And so moving on to the next fin behind it, it's also a single fin. So you're going to make it look more fin-like by curving these lines a little bit towards the back and putting it top and only going from where the body is. I'm going to just draw a little bit of the line of the fish underneath to show exactly what I mean there. So it should look like that. Okay, and moving to the back tail here, we're going to connect these shapes by making a little curve here and then over to the tip. And then this line also curves in a little bit to this tip and then over here, and then it's going to curve a little curve here. So I'll show you how that's going to look.
So the fish we're drawing right now is in its adult phase. And these are going to look like fins eventually, I'm guessing.
Oh yes, absolutely. So your back tail fin should look like that. Okay, and this fin, again, as we said before, is a connected fin. It's a single fin, so it's going to be connected to the body of the fish here at the bottom. And we'll draw that in so it looks more fin-like. Like that. Okay, and then this is important to know. So this fin, like Molly said before, has one on this side and one on the other side. So we're going to draw it starting here and moving down. So you can do the whole fin in pen like that, going over that line.
And these fins are for balance. So when the fish is moving through the water, so it doesn't flop over on its side.
Nice. And then I'm just going to put in that other shape as well. Okay, so now what we can do, we can draw the body just till up to the head. And so you can draw these lines behind the fins here and make sure you don't draw the line going through those fins. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it should look like that. Okay, and I'm going to extend this body line at the top too. So I just drew that one in as well. Okay, so now we're at the head. And so for the head, what we're going to do is draw a, this shouldn't be straight. So we're going to curve it just a little bit, curve that line so it goes to the tip of its nose, and then the line's going to come in like that. I'll show you how it will look. I'll draw it. Yeah. Is there anything we need to know about the nose, Molly?
Well, the nose that we're drawing, like the end of the fish, is often when a salmon goes to spawn, the males will develop kind of a hook on their end of their nose. This obviously is the one in the ocean, but that nose can become defense against other males to defend their reds where they are going to put the eggs.
Nice. Okay, and then the other part. Of the mouth is going to come down like that. So in the mouth also, we're going to put a little detail, some teeth. You can add those little teeth.
So these teeth, this adult salmon is going to be out in the ocean looking for little small fish to eat. So they need those teeth to catch the fish for food.
Okay, and then we're going to add the gills. And this line that came down from the mouth is going to be where you start your gill, your first gill. So there's going to be a small one here, and then another one, and then a bigger one. And I'll show you how that will look.
So gills are really important for fish. They are the way they take in oxygen or they breathe. So we breathe through our mouths, but fish need to get their oxygen from the water. So those gills help to filter out the oxygen in the water, help them live.
Okay, and we're going to add the eye. It's going to be a little circle with a circle around it.
If you can notice, the eye is on the side of the fish, so fish can see, not like us, it can see out quite well on the sides, but not in the direct front like us. But they have a good vision of any predators on the side of them.
Nice. And to see in front of them, well, that's perfect because I'm next going to draw in the nose. And the nose helps them to do some more sensing.
Yeah, they have very good sense of smell. Fish are able to obviously smell predator, but also help them to smell their way, per se, all the way home. So from the ocean, they're going to need to find out their local stream, and they can actually smell their local stream.
We're just going to draw in the lateral line in pen. And back to the mouth. Sorry?
The lateral line is really important too. It's another sensory system. So that lateral line helps to sense different movements in the water. So if there's a strong movement, that could be a orca whale or some other seal or some kind of predator.
Okay, thank you, Molly. So back to the mouth, we're going to draw a line that comes around the mouth, and it will look like that.
Like a mustache, kind of.
Yeah, like a mustache. Okay, and now for the fun part, to make the fins look more like fins, we're going to draw lines on the fins. Now, when you draw the lines, we're going to start with this top one, the dorsal fin. Follow the original line that you had made all the way along, and then follow this back line as well. I'll show you how that looks. There you go. So it's going to be putting in those thin lines. And we could do the next one down the back. Add those in. And when you do the back tail fin, start your lines. They're going to be smaller. They're going to be closer together, the lines from here, and then they fan out. So what I like to do is follow, starting on this side and then moving inwards, slowly fanning them out so that they all fit in there nicely. So I'll show you how that looks. I'll just start doing the outer ones and then I'll show you. Like that. So I just started on the outside, both on the outside edges of the fin. And then I'll continue until we meet in the middle. There we go.
Oh, looking more like fins.
Looking more like fins, yeah. Ooh. Okay, now this next one, we're going to start by following this line right here. So that'll be the first line to follow, and then just follow it all the way down. That one's going to look. And this next one, we are going to follow this line here. So follow it, and then we'll go all the way down. That one fans out a little bit as well. And this last one also fans out, same as you did the tail fin. I made a little mistake. I went across there, but that's okay. There we go. All right, so I think we have all our details.
What should we name your fish?
Oh, I don't know. Do you have a name for yours?
I was thinking of calling my Charles.
Charles, nice. Charles the Chinook salmon. So we're not finished yet though. Molly, is there any, while we wait for the ink to dry, I wonder if you have anything else, information you'd like to share about the Chinook salmon specifically.
Well, the Chinook salmon has a few names. They can be called the king salmon or spring salmon. They're probably have a lot of names because they can get very large, as I said before, and therefore sports fishermen really like them. Orcas like them, and unfortunately, they are in decline. All the Pacific salmon are in decline. The Chinook are particularly concerned, I think, because the orcas feed on them, and also there are some streams in the interior where there are very few Chinook salmon left, and I think that we need to think about how we could help the salmon. And a few things that come to mind, and that's something you could research yourself, but global warming affects our salmon species in that the temperature of the water is warming, and that is stressful for salmon. And so if we can reduce our carbon footprint and also reduce our pollutants that we put into the water, our water systems, those are a couple things that you yourself could help to do. Also, if you do want to eat salmon, it's really important that you eat wild salmon, because our farmed salmon are polluting the waters, and they are have more disease that is spreading to the wild salmon. So don't eat farm fish.
All
That's
right.
all for now. There's lots more.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Molly. We given the ink a few moments to dry, so hopefully we can go in with our eraser and erase those pencil lines. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll add in a few more details. Sometimes if the ink isn't quite dry yet, it'll smudge, so you can even wait a little longer if you want to erase the pencil lines, but I like to do it at this stage, and then you can add in some more details and you start to see what your fish is really looking like. Okay, looking good. Oh, nice, Molly, that looks great. Okay, so we have two Chinook salmon here, almost done with the drawing. We're going to add a few more details. So one characteristic of the Chinook salmon is that she or he has these spots along the back and into the fins at the top. Mostly the spots are at the top part and in the fins, and a little bit around the lateral line as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put the spots in, and I'll show you again on this picture I did before, just to give you an idea of making the spots. So you can go ahead and put the spots in.
While we're making spots, think about, why do you think a salmon has those kind of spots on them?
Okay, so we have some spots in here, And maybe later too, if you want to finish up your drawing with some coloring, you can find some pencil crayons or crayons and add some color. And what kind of colors does the salmon, this Chinook salmon have, Molly?
Well, this is, if you imagine this fish is in the ocean and they're an adult, so they tend to, you know, like you said, every fish is different, but they have sort of a blue-green on their top with where the spots are. You could draw color that in, and then most of the fish is going to be silver, although it gets darker on the fins.
Okay.
Wow, that's looking awesome.
Okay, great. And you can look it up and find images of the Chinook salmon as well. So we're going to put in some water lines because this adult salmon is in the ocean. So let's show some water lines, some wavy lines to show that our fish is in the water. And
Yeah, I've heard that, we don't know for sure, but these fish tend to swim together in schools. And if you might have had the idea that I think those spots could be for camouflage.
oh, maybe. Look, I can make him swim by moving the page.
This has been a lot of fun, Danica.
Well, there you go.
Thank
That
you.
is the fish. So there's a few more little things you can add to your drawing, but we're going to finish up for now. And I'm sure Molly would love to, and myself would love to see your drawing. So we'll put that information up where you can send it to. One idea is to add things in your picture that show that the salmon is in the ocean, and also maybe add some things what the Chinook salmon might be eating. And if you what you would like to do is make a little thought bubble above your fish, and your fish can be saying something about what maybe the fish would like you to do to help with the Chinook salmon. So those are just some ideas. Yeah, over to you, Molly. Thanks so much for having me and doing this with you.
Well, thank you. And just have a look here. If you would like to know more about salmon, you can go to our website, www.salmonsociety.com, or send us an email, info@salmonsociety.com. And if you feel that you would love to send us your drawings, you could also mail it. We have our address there. And once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Canadian Scholarship Trust Foundation, and enjoy drawing salmon and protecting them. Thanks again. Bye for now.
Bye. Yay.